Cora Jade, aka Elayna Black, is no longer under WWE contract restrictions, and now she's putting unrestricted pictures of her body on the internet. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and something that is also unrestricted is the shit we say on this channel. Cora Jade wanted to bitch about body shaming. Well, do not worry, because we will body shame them all, from the fatties like Piper Niven and Nia Jax to the people like Adam Cole that are built like a toothpick. But before we get into these whole body shaming crap here that Cora Jade came out with, she did launch her OnlyFans. If you're into that shite, it's there. But you know what? I just don't understand it. She'll complain about people talking about her image and her body, but then she'll happily show it off and sell herself on the internet for $15.99. It just feels very hypocritical. And even the post that she made a few weeks ago, I didn't like it, man. It almost felt like she was trying to justify what she was doing when she says that something like, I'm going to profit from all you losers.
Truth though, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, I felt like it was disingenuous. It almost felt like she was saying, "You are the one forcing me into this because you're going to creep on me anyway. So now I'm just going to get paid for it."
Yeah, but every single one of them could make that logic. Honestly, every single one of them, every female that's in wrestling in 2025 could create an OnlyFans based off that opinion.
Yeah, but this is the same bitch that I'm sure. Like a month ago would have been saying, "Oh, judge me for my wrestling ability and all this stuff."
I'm sure she's great.
Don't sexualize women, but as soon but I'm sure she's one of these people that say don't sexualize women, but as soon as she gets the opportunity and she's no longer under the 30-day restrictions, she's selling her body online. So I mean,
she's gurning her eyes out about body shaming, but it's like, well, you know what? You can't think that lowly of your own body if you're willing to sell it to fucking strangers on the internet.
Yeah, anyway, let's get into this whole body shaming thing, because she did an interview with Ariel Helwani.
The biggest fanny.
Yeah, and listen, we're not going to talk about it all, because, I mean, there was a lot of shite in there. Yeah, basically, who cares? There was a lot of shite in there that we don't really care about.
CM Punk was the first person I spoke to when I got released.
Good for him, you know, he probably...
I'm not surprised.
He probably wanted to...
He's like fucking Roadrunner, as soon as it happened.
I wonder if he body shames her, but probably body slams her anyway. That is for sure. Right, so let's just ignore all the other shite, and we'll talk about what she experienced as body shaming. Because I tell you what, see, I know this for a fact, but see when people come out and they make comments like this, it just proves to me that the people in this era would never have survived previous eras.
Yeah.
With how just offended they get over certain comments. Anyway, this is what she said on her tweet about being body shamed. She said, quote, "I'll say this because I did put it out there. The body shaming stuff, I don't want this to be a bash WWE because it was my dream and still is my dream. I have no doubt maybe one day in the near future I'll be there again. But it is what it is. Thinking about my dream was to be a WWE superstar then. I become a WWE superstar. I accomplished these goals, meet all these people. Me and Roxanne became closer than ever doing these storylines. I got to work with Bayley, who is a hero of mine. CM Punk is a mentor to me now. I got to do so much, so I don't want it to be bash WWE at all because I'm so happy with my time there. I did so much stuff that I was writing about in my notebook as a kid. I definitely think things could have went differently if it wasn't for certain things like the body shaming thing. I came in at 19 years old. I was 110 pounds and so small. It was constant comments, whether it was guys who think they're being funny, or I'm not going to name names, but I remember specifically being told that I wasn't and wouldn't be champion in that company because I looked like I couldn't crack an egg. Multiple conversations about my body. I don't think anyone, especially a man, should be saying that to a female, especially because I was so young. It created a lot of issues for me body-wise. I gained so much muscle after that. I worked my ass off. I would go to strength and conditioning classes, which in my opinion are more geared towards college athletes and people coming in from college and working on that kind of strength and conditioning. It never felt like it was doing anything for my body. If you guys are yelling at me for how I look, but you're not really helping me out in strength and conditioning that I need, then I would just go to my other gym afterwards. I was working my ass off, seeing the report about released talents and not working hard. If you only knew what I dealt with and how much I had to progress because of these things. People say so much, and when you finally say something back, they're like, wow, God forbid I say something back. Again, I don't want it to seem like I'm bashing WWE because I loved my time there. I really did. I loved everybody there, but there were certain things and specifics where I'm like, damn, this is my dream. I didn't go to college. I dropped out of high school at 15, did a year online so I could start wrestling training. I don't know anything else. It is defeating when things like that happen. You can only look at it as things happen for a reason. That's how I feel. End of quote. Right. So a few things here for obviously first to talk about. She says that if this body shaming never happened, she believes things could have went differently. Basically saying here, if a few people never made a couple of throwaway comments about my body, I would have had success. I would have been in WWE still. I would have been a champion. Blah blah blah. Every time she got a push, and here I liked Cora Jade when she first came in, but every time she got a push, she unfortunately got injured. Is what it fucking is. I don't think somebody talking about her body affected her WWE career. I mean, look at people in the past, like, and we'll talk about what they actually said, but look at The Miz, for example. This is a guy that fucking genuinely got bullied and was kicked out of dressing rooms and was told he had to, like, fucking change in the janitor's fucking closet because he wasn't welcome in the locker room. Like, could you imagine?
Chris Benoit.
Imagine if Cora Jade got told that. Imagine she tried to, and people says, "No, you have to go and change in that toilet with the mop or something." Imagine how these people would react to the treatment that the likes of the Miz got and people before him got. Anyway, she said that what the body shaming that she called out was the fact that somebody, and she didn't mention their name, said that she wouldn't be champion in the company because she looks like she couldn't crack an egg. I
That's
mean,
so horrible, isn't it?
is that even worth talking about? Is that worth getting upset about? Is that what she's really hanging her hat on? Is she claiming that she didn't have the career and that she wasn't a champion and that she's no longer in the company and she wasn't super successful because somebody once said to her that she couldn't crack an egg? You know what? See, when she first came in, she didn't fucking look like she could crack an egg, but the guys also get told this. See Adam Cole. Like, we rip the piss out of him all the time. See people look. See Christian Cage, who for the average man has got like a decent body, but for a pro wrestler back in the mid 2000s, late 90s, had a fucking shite body. He was getting called out on air. This wasn't people making wee digs backstage. You know, we've got Scott Steiner on TNA saying that he'd have been better off picking Sting would have been better off picking a partner.
Canadian, pick him from Ethiopia.
He'd have been better off picking a partner from Ethiopia because fucking Christian's lack of physique. It's absolutely crazy that she thinks this is like the worst thing that could have been said to her. Like, see, body shaming. I wouldn't do it to someone who's disabled. That's bullshit. Or someone who has like a disability or a disease or whatnot. But and see if someone's fat, right? See if your next door neighbour's fat. I wouldn't just walk up and say you're a fat bastard, right? Because that's rude and unnecessary. But see when you're in a line of work like WWE, when you're supposed to be treated like an athlete, or you're in a sport and you need to be in top condition. See if you're overweight and see if you're fat, you deserve to be called it. See Piper Nivens and Nia Jax's, see when they're in a company that we were once told is the hottest women in television, or they're in a company where they're supposed to be treated like top athletes and they're out of shape and you see the absolute flab just hanging over their waistline, then they deserve to be called it. People like Nia Jax and Piper Niven deserve to be called fat as fuck. People like Rikishi deserve to be called it having a fucking fat ass. People like Christian Cage deserves to be called it for having no muscles. Adam Cole deserves to be called it for having a toothpick. I mean, like...
The key thing is, though, right? They cannot change their weight, their size, in terms of muscle mass. Can't change your height. And how many people get buried because of that? And that's something you've got no control over.
Yeah, even in the dating game, like, how many women do you hear say, I wouldn't date a guy under 6'2"?
Aye.
But then if a guy says, "Oh, I can't change my height, but you can change your weight," and then you're made it to be like straight away an arsehole or whatnot. But the funny thing is, she says that after that comment that she looks like she couldn't crack an egg and she wouldn't be a champion. She then goes on to say that she pretty much hit the gym 24/7 and gained a lot of muscle and worked her ass off.
So it worked.
So again, that just proves that like calling people out and body shaming can have a positive effect on somebody.
Absolutely.
But see when she made that comment body shit, I thought it would have been more along like sexual lines, where maybe people were harassing her.
You couldn't crack an egg.
Like I cannot believe that this is what really bothered her. Somebody said that she looks like she couldn't crack an egg.
Yeah. But see that though, that's like say, oh, they're harmless. You know what I mean? Or they wouldn't hurt a fly. You know what I mean? Or it looks like you couldn't crack an egg. But no, see if the gender's flipped here. No man who looks like he couldn't crack an egg is getting anywhere. Well, especially back in the day. Now you might.
Yeah, like see if John Cena says to Spanky in 2003, "You couldn't crack an egg, son." Is Spanky going to go online and say to Wade Keller, "Now John Cena was body shaming me. He said I couldn't crack an egg."
Couldn't crack an egg, bro.
Compared to the rest of the roster, Brian Kendrick Spanky doesn't look like he could crack an egg.
Yeah. It's pathetic, man.
What's your thoughts on that?
Crap.
That's the issue. Someone said you couldn't. Well, she looks like she couldn't crack an egg.
Think of the history of pro wrestling, the insults that have been dished out, whether on air or behind the scenes, and this is what she's taking exception with.
I think it's mental.
No, it is mental. It's pathetic. It's like, how is this even getting talked about in an interview? But see if that Arlo Armani guy had a fucking backbone, he'd be like, well, hold on here.
That's what you're taking issue with.
You know what I mean? Like, even think of the last couple of years, like, forget about body shaming. You've had, like, backstage brawls, Larry the Dog getting battered by the Elite, things like that. Punk and Jack Perry. Oh, they said I couldn't crack an egg. You're 110 pounds. Of course they're going to fucking think that. You're a midget as well.
And the person that said it, I mean, it must have worked because she then went on. She said she went and hit the gym non-stop, and now like she's put a lot more muscle on, and she weighs a hell of a lot more than 110 pounds.
Yo, on air, right? On fucking air. Chelsea Green, the last couple of weeks, has made remarks about Selena Vega's height. So,
Yeah, is that
and her stature. So what's that? Spike Dudley. Tenichi, what do we call him? Taka Michinoku.
Michinoku?
He got buried every week, right? Funaki. Nunzio. Buried every other week, man.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio was made for being small.
That's just their role in wrestling.
Yeah. So I mean, I cannot believe that's the hill she wants to die on.
You know, I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, what did they expect, man? Is it going to be like sunshine and lollipops? Just going to come in, don't work your ass off, don't put any effort into your body, don't do nothing, and what they're just going to push you to the top. It's an entertainment business, for fuck's sake.
Look at Scott Steiner and Samoa Joe. He's calling him a fat bastard every single week, and that was great.
You fucking Twinkie.
That was great. Could you imagine Scott Steiner if he was in WWE in 2025, and every week he came out and he called Piper Niven a fat bastard?
Oh, I'd pay money.
Yeah, but could you imagine the out? Well, first of all, he wouldn't be able to do it every week because he'd be gone after 1 week.
Aye.
But see these wrestlers today, man, they're so fucking soft. And see when Cora Jade came out and said this, I just assumed it was something more. I assumed it was something else. I don't know what.
It's so tame. It's a nothing burger. That's what it is.
And even she says that like men shouldn't be saying this stuff to women, especially because they're so young. Like, see when she says that kind of hints towards it. Here, maybe they've said something like creepy or inappropriate.
Yeah, what are they supposed to say?
No,
they're supposed to fucking lead her on and pretend that she's going to make it the size she is.
Oh, you look
at
like
least 5 years of her life.
You look like you could go and batter Brock Lesnar. But you know what, man? Like, see, I don't think being a female and being 110 pounds is that. I mean, I don't think it's the end of the fucking world. I mean, if I was in charge of wrestling, I would view men and women differently. I wouldn't fucking look at Cora Jade and go, alright, I need you to put a shitload of muscle on. But I would look at Adam Cole and be like, you need to fucking hit the gym, buddy.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But anyway, just, I don't know, for that, I cannot believe that is what she's been crying about. She'd have been better off not revealing it.
And again, I mean, can we hazard a guess about who said it? She doesn't say any names, so who do you think? Pete Bloom? No, not Pete Bloom. What do you call him?
Matt Bloom?
Matt Bloom. He said.
Yeah, but fucking so what, man? No matter, it doesn't make them a bad person. Never said that.
But know how woke it is and pathetic it is until like whenever this was. It's like whoever said it probably could have said. Well, no, they could have said 100 times worse.
Absolutely.
They've said this. They've kept it as cookie cutter and as clean as possible, man. And it's still getting talked about in a podcast.
Like, even in Tough Enough back in the day, when Triple H was, like, you know, showing them the ropes, like, I'm sure this is something that he could have said back then, and it would have just been glossed over.
Cracked the surface.
Nobody, like, look at Josh Matthews, Todd Grisham,
Yeah.
guys like that. I mean, they look like they couldn't crack an egg.
No.
And that's probably why they ended up transitioning into interview roles.
Crazy, man.
Anyway, guys, there you go. That's the big reveal. Somebody says she wouldn't be champion because she looks like she couldn't crack an egg, and she's cried about it and bitched about it. But then she also went on to say that she went and worked her ass off, so therefore it motivated her. See if somebody turned around and says, "Oh, see at 19 at 110 pounds and being small, you look like a killer. You look like you could win the title tonight." Then that probably wouldn't have motivated her, and she probably wouldn't have went and put the work in and improved her body. So you can't have it fucking both ways, like. I just see this current generation, like, they would not have survived back in the day. Imagine this generation coming through 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Imagine it was flipped though. Say she was 330 pounds and so big, and
Someone said, "Oh, you look like you could crush your opponent out there."
you look like you could eat a truckload of eggs, let alone crack a singular. But that's the problem. I think body shaming fat people is just considered so much worse than people who are just tiny. But not the reality is, like you said at the start, fucking body shame any cunt.
Yeah, especially when you're in the wrestling bit. Hold on here, like, see when Arnold Schwarzenegger was training.
Mr. Olympia.
No, but like, see if he was training for Mr. Olympia and he was like fucking overweight and he wasn't lifting weights and he had a big belly and he was instead of going to the gym every day, he was going to McDonald's. Would his trainer and the people close to him not be calling him out and going, "Arnold, what the fuck are you doing? You're getting fat. You're not going to win this competition."
I know. I don't get it. I don't. I actually just fucking. I don't get it.
World's too fucking soft, man. As Enzo Amore once said.
It's gone soft.
SWAFT. Soft. Anyway,
Aye.
that's it. Bring him back. He was good. Till next time. Peace.